grew up about 10 miles north of Clarksville, Arkansas in the East Mount Zion community. Also known as Red Lick. I never knew where that name came from, and I'm not sure I even want to know. If you look at the mountains from the south on Highway 21, you can see ridges coming off the mountain with valleys in between. And these valleys were called hollers, not hollows, hollers. Each holler had a creek that eventually made its way to the Arkansas River. There was Rock Creek Holler. Then going west, there was Wet Spadra Holler. Spadra Creek starts there, and this is the creek that flows through Clarksville. Near the head of Wet Spadra Holler was Spain Hour Falls. Our family called it Coal Falls for some reason. Going on west, there was Dry Spadra, then Elkins Holler, and so on. Teagle Holler was to the east. We had 160 acres in Rock Creek Holler, and Rock Creek ran down the middle of the holler. Back in the 20s and 30s, there were several small farms and house places as you made your way up the holler. There was the Ryder Place, the Baxter Place, the Conduff Place, and the Smith Place on the mountain at the head of Rock Creek, a place called Smitty Point. And nothing remains of these places except chimneys and rock fences and an occasional rail fence. And speaking of the Ryder Place, I have a story to tell. Mr. Ryder would go to town once a month or so, but he would not let his wife go. She had a very difficult life, a German lady. And when Mr. Ryder died, some of Dad's friends went up the holler to check on Mrs. Ryder. She told them, "The night he died, I looked up to heaven and thanked God he was dead." That, my friends, is commitment. An old road winds its way up the holler to Smitty Point, and we used to ride horses up to the point and marvel at the view. Every time Dad would say, "How can anyone see all this and not believe there is a God?" On the road to Smitty Point was a spring called Box Spring, and it's still flowing to this day, cold, clear water. Dad said that Mr. Smith built rock fences on Smitty Point with a goat and a sled. It's a mystery to me how people were able to make a living on these small rocky farms. They're great places to be a farmer down close to the river bottoms, but this was high and rocky. And several times Dad would take someone to see where the preacher was buried. In the middle of the holler, not far from the Ryder Place, back in the woods under a big tree, was the burial place for the preacher. I never knew the story behind this or even the preacher's name, and why was he buried there, I never knew. I trekked all over Rock Creek Holler by horseback, hunting, hiking, playing in Rock Creek, riding my bike. It was long ago and far away, but somehow as I grow older, it seems closer than ever. And I have this urge to go back to my roots, to a simpler time, the good old days in Rock Creek Holler. Thanks for watching. If you'll click on the little icon down in the corner of the screen, you can subscribe and you'll know each time a video is posted. Well, stay warm and stay safe. Bye.